Hello everybody, thank you for joining us for these Advent reflections. I'm happy to offer it. My name is Father Michael Kostick. I'm the pastor of St. Benedict Parish, which is in Bloomfield and in Canandaigua. And it's a nice fall day to do this, so we're happy to be with you. So we just, on the second Sunday of Advent, have this wonderful historical setting from Luke's Gospel, whereas you have listing off Pontius Pilate, listing off I think it mentions Herod and all of these other things, setting the events firmly in history. We remember for Luke, this is very special because he's a physician, but he's very history-minded. And he sees the events that happen in his gospel record as the most important things that ever happened. I always go like this whenever I tell people this story. But because imagine the timeline here, all history, and he says it's going to this point. That Jesus Christ is born, the incarnation of God in Jesus Christ, and then he goes through the Paschal mysteries to his death and resurrection and ascension, and seated at the right hand of the Father, taking the human nature with him into eternity and in heaven, in the hopes that we can join him and share that with him. He becomes human so that we can become divine, as they say. So really, as we continue in that way and think about it in that way, the center point of all history and the greatest things that can happen, the greatest life story of any person who ever walked this earth that happened in time. And then I suppose in some sense you could say he sanctifies all time by becoming human. Now, we have a couple of things that happen in Advent. We watch certain stories. We watch many of the kids will watch The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. They'll watch A Christmas Carol, and these stories about great transformations that happen. And strictly speaking, those stories, I would just say, are kind of Easter stories of us becoming something. They kind of remind us of the traveling to Emmaus and on the road to Emmaus, when people all of a sudden are transformed and they see him in the breaking of the bread and they recognize things and they come to some understanding. But they're really stories about us and the great threshold that has been crossed in the birth of Jesus Christ. That those things have become possible that were impossible. Those things for which everybody was waiting are happening. And it's the greatest thing that can happen. There is nothing in the life of a Christian person or a Catholic, for that, well, most essentially, that doesn't come from Jesus Christ and go back to him. Nothing, no liturgy, no precept of the law, everything is about Jesus Christ. Everything we do. And isn't that the joy of our hearts? That the greatest event in all history is that thing which makes our life the most meaningful, which is life offered to us through, with, and in him, who is our life, our light, and our truth. So have a wonderful Christmas. Have a very happy Advent. If I talked too fast, let me know, or don't, whatever. But I'm very honored to have brought this to you, and we would see you when you're in Bloomfield or in Canandaigua. Okay? Merry Christmas early.